Oke, halo semuanya, selamat siang teman-teman. Selamat datang di webinar Cahaya Jakarta Group. Ya, perkenalkan saya Arif yang hari ini akan memandu jalannya webinar hari ini ya. Sebelum kita mulai webinar siang hari ini, saya ucapkan sekali lagi terima kasih banyak atas kesempatannya ya, dan juga waktunya Bapak Ibu sekalian yang udah hadir di webinar siang hari ini. Nah, kegiatan webinar yang kami selenggarakan ini merupakan awal dari rangkaian kegiatan sharing session ya, yang rencananya kami akan lakukan secara rutin di tahun depan untuk para klien, dan juga kami berharap sih bisa menyelenggarakan webinar ini untuk masyarakat atau audiens yang lebih luas lagi untuk mengenal dunia label dan packaging di Indonesia gitu. Oke, teman-teman, saya ucapkan selamat datang yang baru join. Hari ini kita buka dua tempat ya untuk webinar kali ini, ada dari Zoom dan juga dari YouTube Live. Jadi selamat datang semuanya. Jadi ya, seperti yang sudah tertera dalam undangan, webinar hari ini kita akan membahas topik yang sangat menarik nih Bapak Ibu sekalian ya, yaitu topik mulai dari consumer trend gitu ya, dan juga consumer behavior untuk menyambut tahun 2023. Kemudian hal-hal menarik yang bisa dipelajari dari brand owner pasca pandemi ya khususnya gitu, dan juga dari kami sendiri akan membagikan bagaimana atau beberapa inspirasi dari beragam belahan dunia terkait dunia packaging dan labeling untuk jadi inspirasi nih untuk pengembangan produk buat Bapak dan Ibu sekalian. Dan juga tentunya kita akan menyampaikan bagaimana Cahaya Jakarta Group bisa membantu Bapak Ibu sekalian dalam mengembangkan bisnis ke depannya gitu loh. Tentu saja lewat label dan packaging. Oke, dalam sesi 2 jam ke depan tentunya saya nggak akan sendirian nih Bapak Ibu sekalian ya. Hari ini akan ada dua pembicara atau narasumber yang sangat luar biasa ya. Yang pertama adalah Pak Denny Lim, beliau adalah Sales and Marketing Director dari PT TEA Digilab Indonesia, dari bagian dari Cahaya Jakarta Group, dan juga ada Ibu Evi Viwanti dari sebagai CEO Cahaya Jakarta Group. Oke, baik, tentunya udah nggak sabar ya kita mau mulai webinar hari ini. Webinar hari ini kita akan laksanakan dengan dua bahasa nih teman-teman. Kebetulan ada beberapa tamu juga yang datang bukan hanya dari Indonesia ya. Gitu. Selamat datang, welcome to the webinar. Kita akan menyelenggarakan webinar ini dengan bahasa Indonesia dan juga bahasa Inggris. Nah, sebelum saya mulai sesi yang pertama nih, saya mau menjelaskan sedikit rules atau garis besar webinar kita pada siang hari ini. Oke, yang pertama tentunya kita akan mendengarkan pemaparan dari dua narasumber, kemudian kita akan mengadakan sesi tanya jawab ya. Jadi rekan-rekan sekalian, Bapak Ibu sekalian yang ada pertanyaan, kita buka sesi tanya jawab, kita lewat kolom chat dulu ya. Silahkan mengajukan pertanyaan lewat kolom chat. Kemudian nanti kita akan buka sesi tanya jawab setelah dua pembicara selesai melakukan presentasi ya. Dan harap ingat untuk bertanya, jangan lupa tulis nama, perusahaan, dan juga pertanyaannya apa. Oke, baik. Ya, dan satu lagi nih sebelum kita mulai banget nih ya, mohon untuk rekan-rekan sekalian untuk memute mikrofon selama webinar berlangsung. Nanti kita akan adakan sesi kalau teman-teman mau bertanya langsung, kita akan open cam dan open mikrofon juga. Oke, untuk yang pertama kita akan mendengarkan presentasi dari Pak Denny Lim ya. Beliau adalah Sales and Marketing Director Pak Denny Lim sudah bisa join. Oke, sudah di hadapan kita ya. Speakernya boleh dicoba dulu? Cek. Oke, siap. Oke. Bapak Ibu sekalian, kita sambut langsung presentasi dari Pak Denny Lim selaku Sales and Marketing Director dari TEA Digilab Indonesia.
Hello, very good afternoon to everyone. Selamat siang semua. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Cahaya Jakarta Group, comprising of Cahaya Jakarta Printing, Cahaya Jakarta Packaging, TEA Digilab Indonesia, and our latest sister company, Kita Label. I'm very honored to be here to present in front of all of you. Just to give you a little bit of my background. I can go to the next slide. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about elevating the value. I'm going to use this word a lot during the webinar. The value of your brand through labels and packaging. Once again, my name is Denny Lim. I'm the Sales and Marketing Director of TEA Digilab Indonesia. And as you probably would have already guessed from my accent, I'm aslinya dari Singapore. And prior to joining TEA Digilab, I spent more than 10 years in Melbourne, Australia, doing a lot of product category management, packaging development, sourcing and development, building the brands, OEM brands, creating the value through packaging and branding. So this is my passion. I love what I do, and I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life. So after Melbourne, I moved to Jakarta, and I've spent nearly the 7 years building up PT TEA Digilab. And today I'm going to share with you some of the values that from my experience as a product manager, as a brand manager, as a product packaging development manager, how we as the Cahaya Jakarta Group can help you put value to your brand and in the end, pass on that value to your consumers. Feel free to take my number down, send me a message, drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your queries. And from the list, I'm very happy to welcome all our guests. I can see there are a lot of packaging development specialists, managers, sourcing and development, purchasing, procurement, brand owners, graphic designers, someone from finance as well. Welcome. And also brand owners, business owners. Thank you very much. Good afternoon and welcome to my seminar. I can also see a few people from regional, from Singapore. Welcome. And thank you very much for joining us. Today, I want to talk about consumer behavior, first of all, pre and then post-COVID-19 pandemic, and how it has changed our lives as consumers. And we're all consumers. We buy products, we shop for products, we research for products. And this has a very important fundamental marketing concept and theory, and how consumer behavior can in turn affect consumer buying, consumer purchasing, and in return, how can you as brand owners cater to such needs and wants of the consumer. Secondly, I want to talk about print and packaging trends, the latest packaging trends, the latest printing and software technologies that we can have to offer. And also I'm going to talk very briefly about brand protection and how over the years, brand protection is something that many brand owners are considering, but is it necessary? And last but not least, I'm going to give you examples of innovative packaging from around the world. We have changed dramatically over the years as consumers. Since the 1970s, 1980s, there are not many choices, with limited choices, limited variants, limited items. We could easily determine what we want to buy. Fruit juice was just orange juice and apple juice back then. Milk was just milk. It didn't have low fat, no fat, or any fat. Then when it comes to similar product variants, they seem to be shouting, choose me, I'm the best. As a consumer, this is a challenge in choosing, in choices. As a brand owner, as a brand manager, it is also a challenge how to choose the customer. Nowadays, it's getting more challenging. Apart from many competing products, many competing brands, a product must be able to sell itself through the packaging first. As part of a fundamental consumer behavior marketing theory, we need to understand how do consumers make their decision. Well, it could be as simple as I just want a packet of milk. I go out to the shop and buy a packet of milk. But these days, more than half of the shoppers say that they always do research before they buy the product to ensure that they're making the best possible choice with the best value-added product. So they can jump on Google, they can jump on social media, they do their research, they ask around their friends, and then they come to a decision. All right, I'm going to narrow it down to the 3 brands that I'm going to buy. And then they head down to the nearest shop, supermarket. And as they approach the shelf, they've got 3 to 7 seconds to make that decision, to consider buying the product. They pick it up, have a look at the price, looks reasonable, the ingredients looks all right, and the packaging is fantastic. It's so unique. They say, wow, this is something different, even though it's just cereal on the inside. So within the 7 seconds, it captured the consumer's attention and said, wow, I'm unique. I'm different from the guy next to me. I'm different from my competitors. So the price is right, I'll buy it. They try it, not so bad, the product is pretty good. And then it retained, there's a retention. They go back and they buy more. And in return, they might jump on social media, they might post it on their chat groups. This product is good, try it. And through that feedback, it becomes a cycle. And the next person who has done their research say, all right, I'm going to do the same as what my friend has done. I'm going to go to the shop and pick up the same product. And these are very fundamental marketing theory, consumer decision making. That in the end, the point is within 7 seconds, what can attract you? Maybe price, definitely. Everyone goes for the best value-added product at the right price. Some goes for ingredients. Is it organic? Where's the product from? Is it local or is it imported? And of course, we all have our favorite brands. But once in a while, we always want to try something different, don't we? Is a product fresh? Does it have a recyclability and sustainable value? Or it could just simply be something that's on special with discount and on offers. And all this happens within 7 seconds of that decision-making of the consumer. Just a bit of fun fact, did you know in an average grocery store, there are 1.3 million written words on the front panels of packages. And it will take the average of 16 days reading 24 hours per day to read through every single package in the supermarket. That's a lot of time. We don't have so much time, don't we? So in a market research done in 2018, this was pre-pandemic, before I get to the post-pandemic consumer behavior. In 2018, Smithers Pira, which is a global renowned focus group research company, market research company, they've done a research and they're asking all the brand owners globally to rank what is the most important factor that will drive investment, brand managers like yourself and packaging development managers like yourself to put money and develop packaging. And guess what? The number one most important factor that brand owners have decided is the need for shelf standout. The need for shelf standout. Your product must be able to stand out in the product because it's only got 7 seconds before the consumer picks it up and decides to make the purchase. Number two, the product must have competitive differential advantage. Now, the keyword here is differential. Different. What is your product different from the guy next to it? What is your brand? What is the difference between your brand, my brand, and their brands? That is a differential advantage. And number 3 and number 4, you're talking about category innovation and also greater focus on packaging as a marketing tool. Now, I'm going to go a little bit deeper into that later on. Just keep that in mind. Greater focus on packaging as a marketing tool. And coming in number 5, advancement in packaging and printing technology, which we're going to share to you today, the various latest printing software and technology that we're able to produce and give you that differential competitive advantage to stand out on the shelf. And as we go down the list, you can see right at the bottom of the market research, there is a reduced return on investment in advertising. Reduced investment in advertising. A market research by Harvard Business Review. As consumers have shifted their attention from stationary media, the perpetual media on the go, traditional advertising have lost some of its appeal. So what are traditional advertising? Things like marketers have pivoted investments from television, TV commercials, radio commercials, newspapers, and outdoor advertising, billboards they see on the tollway, which are now just advertising people for upcoming elections. But you see very little products on billboards these days. In return, marketers are turning to digital channels such as TikTok, as we all know, and TechTarget. For the last decade, marketers have consistently predicted that their traditional advertising spending would decline. According to the data from a CMO survey, on average, marketers reported an annual decrease in traditional advertising of 1.4% between 2012 and 2022, compared to an annual increase of 7.8% for overall marketing budgets during this same period. So where have this extra 8% of marketing budget gone to? Some say digital advertising, digital marketing. I say investment into new packaging development. Brands have to work harder to stand out today. More than half of the consumers today walk in the supermarket and do unplanned buying, right? And only 24% of the time, we go in there, we know what to buy, we buy the products, we leave the supermarket. But it doesn't happen. For example, if I want a packet of milk, I end up buying cheese. And then I go, oh, I need some bread to go along with the cheese, right? Or maybe I need some ham and salami, or maybe some lettuce, tomatoes. I end up buying half of the supermarket by the end of it. So brands have to work out much harder today, especially after the COVID-19 pandemic. There is a dramatic shift from away from home to at-home consumption, and with a strong presence of e-commerce. COVID-19's impact on consumers around the world has dramatically changed both their behavior and their demand. Many of these changes, for example, the growth of online shoppers over the past 2 years and the shifts in brand loyalty have critical impacts for brand owners. Meanwhile, supply-side adjustments have limited new product innovations and introductions to the market. As the industry starts to emerge from the pandemic, the big question now are which behavioral changes will stick and how brand owners should accommodate to the new customer requirements. The online shopping boom and the rise of influencers for purchase decision. Now, this was quite unheard of 5 years ago. Influencers on social media pushing certain products, and the millennials and the Gen Z consumers continue to rely on them, on these influencers for product discovery. And it's amazing. One of the customers of mine have told me that more than 75% of their sales come from TikTok. 75%, that's 3/4 of the sales revenue is coming from a social media platform. It's amazing. And just for your information, what is a Gen Y or a millennial, or what is a Gen Z? A Gen Y millennial is anyone born between 1980 and 1995. A Gen Z is anyone born between 1996 and the early mid-90s. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I don't fall in any of that range. So I guess I'll call myself a Gen X, when the internet was just born, and to get onto the internet, we need to use one of those dial-up modems with the funny noises once you turn it on. I'm sure some of the Gen Z will be looking strangely at me when I say that. But there is online shopping boom. After the pandemic, the increase in levels of online shopping for fast-moving consumer goods, the FMCGs, is expected to be extremely persistent. And going forward, we expect this trend to affect pack sizes and packaging profiles, such as more ship-ready packaging, to ensure that products can be sent with no need for secondary packaging again. Thirdly, we talk about the brand loyalty shakeup continues, the shifting of brands. During the pandemic, consumers have switched brands at a very high rate, and these shifts are expected to continue as we go along. In addition, consumers are increasingly concerned about the environmental impact of the products that they buy, including the younger consumers, such as the millennials and the Gen Z, in particular, have very high expectations and therefore continue to seek new brands that emphasize values, organic products, and quality. Consumers demand that retailers and brand owners become more focused on creating and supporting sustainable products. And lastly, consumers are seeking personalized customer experiences. 66% of customers expect companies to understand their unique needs, but only 34% of brand owners are currently doing that. So these are the new consumer behaviors. And what are the things that interest them? Number one, we spoke about trust cost-based marketing, the value and the value and the meaning behind the brand and the item that they're buying. 70% of the consumers will spend more time and money with brands that support causes that they care about. Secondly, we talk about constant renewal. And we know the millennials and Gen Z have very short attention span. Just like how they get on social media, it's always scrolling up, scrolling down, waiting for the next phenomenal event to appear. And they desire inspiration and rapid changes. And lastly, engagement. 44% of consumers would switch to other brands that would do a better job that they can engage directly with. And hence why we have seen shifts in brand loyalty. In America, 3/4 of Americans claim to have changed their shopping behavior since the COVID-19 pandemic. Of this, around 40% say that they have switched brands. And we see similar trends in Europe, similar trends happening in Asia. And value, and this word I'm going to use many times again, value is the main driver for consumers to switch brand. And as we move out of the pandemic, there is an uneven recovery. Despite growth in overall consumer spending, different sectors are performing on different levels. A spectrum of winners and losers has clearly emerged, ranging from sectors of continued decline, for example, movie theaters and amusement parks, to sectors that are experiencing sustained elevated growth, such as products for the home, FMCG. As the market readjusts itself to a more normal state, leisure travel, in-person dining, and entertainment return, some of this disruption will fade. But will it ever return to pre-pandemic levels? Yes, I believe so. Now, these are the consumer goods market trends that's been happening over the past 30 years. In the 1990s is what we call the analog era, and I mentioned it earlier. There are limited choices in products, limited choices in variants, limited choices in flavors and smells to choose from. So there are 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 basic variants that you can choose from, and you just buy the product and use it. But in today, variety and SKU proliferation has increased, which means customization, personalization, and versioning, which is the number of choices, variants that you are giving to your consumers to choose from. But what is also on the rise, and I also touched a little bit about protecting your brand, is counterfeiting is on the rise today. It's been happening for the past 30 years, no doubt about it. But counterfeiting is definitely on the rise in which country they go to, and even in Singapore, where I come from. As long as you have a strong brand, people will want to copy it and sell your brand as their own. Now, in today's digital era, what is on a decline? Product life cycle is on a decline. And a very good example of product life cycle is smartphones. So between 5 to 7 years, your smartphone will go out at the end of the life cycle, and nobody's going to buy it anymore. Repeat orders is on a decline. Many customers want smaller repeat orders, smaller batch sizes for seasonal. So you have a seasonal campaign that's coming up for Lebaran. You have a seasonal for Independence Day, seasonal product, seasonal limited edition for Christmas, for example. So how can you be the one who stand out? Hopefully at Cahaya Jakarta Group, we'll be able to help you answer that question today. Consider visual, because it's all about visual. Strong visual design has a way of sticking more than verbal communication, and good packaging has the power to sell consumers right at the shelf itself. And remember, we spoke about the #1 factor in investment in new packaging development is the need for shelf standout and competitive differential advantage. Color plays a very significant role for all your brand, and I see there are a number of graphic designers here today. So we do have a very wide range of special inks that we can offer to give you that capability to use colors in your design, in your artwork, and in your labels and packaging. For example, I just want to point out, which I'm going to go to in my next few slides, it's a UV invisible blue ink, and that's a very unique ink that we can use to help enhance and protect your brand. Labels are small in size, but they have big impact in terms of brand communication. And why is that? To many consumers, your label and packaging is an extension of your brand. It's what sits on the shelf. It's what people look at before they pick it up and put it into their shopping cart. So label branding is often the deciding factor or the only factor that will persuade to add your products into their cart. And remember, you only have that 7-second window for the consumer to pick it up because it's got very unique packaging. Now, I'm just going to go very briefly into protecting your brand. As I mentioned earlier, we do have special invisible ink and other techniques of printing to help enhance and protect your brand. Did you know that in 2017, now these stats are 5 years ago, I'm sure you have gone up since then, 26 million liters of alcohol are counterfeits. And in the agriculture market, 25% are counterfeits as well in the pesticides and the seeds market. And just recently, as we all know, you can, from the various e-commerce platforms, there's a rise of counterfeits in personal care, pharmaceutical, vitamin, supplement products that are being sold widely on the e-commerce platforms. And these are your brand, your products. And people are copying it, people are selling it online, people are selling it everywhere under your brand name. So is it a growing demand? Yes, I feel it's a growing demand for security printing. Now, I'm just going to go very briefly into this. There are 4 levels of execution that I'm going to briefly touch today. #1 is security by design. It's the most basic level. So the more complex and the more complicated your design is, the harder it is for counterfeiters to try to copy. But it's still possible. Given a very talented pre-press operator, that is very, very doable. The next level is security ink, for example, UV invisible ink, which we are able to provide as part of our printing and packaging solution. And the next level up is a track and trace solutions where we can work with third-party companies from all around the world, and they will produce very unique codes, alphanumeric codes, QR codes, in combination with different colors and patterns to make sure that every single bottle is traceable you know exactly where your products are, and certain regions that are not supposed to sell the products, the company or the brand owners, they know it straight away. And of course, the best is a combination of the three below. Now, these are some of the things that we are able to do. Number one is we can print very unique bottle numbers. So it can be a combination of alphanumeric. So every single bottle is serialized. So that means it's unique and traceable. And also we have a tamper evidence seal. As some of you know, the tamper evidence, once it's being opened, there's a void written on it. So people know that it's been tampered, it's been opened and used. And also we have variable data printing, which is a combination of colors, images, alphanumeric, coding, 2D code, QR code, and so forth. And black markings as well is just another version of variable data printing. Now here comes the more interesting section, I hope. I would like to share with you some of the global inspirations, as what I would like to call it, global inspiration examples from all around the world, how you can enhance your product value through label and packaging. Straws Chocolate in 2015, Straws Chocolate sought a new way to breathe new life into the popular brand and to offer value in order to increase customer engagement. And we spoke about that earlier on, customer engagement with the brand using the latest innovative printing and packaging solution. They found an extraordinary opportunity for the brand to correlate with two cultural mega trends, the reuse trend, the recyclability trend, and then the do-it-yourself, the DIY trend. In this manner, packaging could be transformed into an attractive individual works of art. Instead of using the traditional red wrapper, each individual piece of the Straws Cow chocolate bar has a unique design. And then wrappers can be folded into one-of-a-kind paper sculptures of cows using origami. Thus, the name of the campaign, Origamu. Now, over in Italy, Nutella has once again carried out a marketing campaign called the Nutella Unica. They have created 7 million bottles of Nutella. The idea was to take one of the qualities of the brand in its packaging, the fun. For this, they designed a series of patterns and algorithms that mix all different colors, and the result was the Nutella Unica campaign sold 7 million different Nutella bottles in one single month. And over in China, the Hope Water, as the Chinese call it, the Hao Xi Sui, new Chinese herbal sparkling water brand called Hope Water wanted to increase consumer engagement by creating a series of products using very traditional Chinese elements that could also meet the aesthetic appeal of young people. And what was the solution? They worked together with Beijing Urban Park, the Yuantang Park, to create Meet Cherry Blossom Juice series. The label's design uses very traditional Chinese colors, combined with the cherry blossom pattern to express the traditional national style, and digital print software and technology to create very unique labels with thousands of sets of distinctive cherry blossom scenery. And the result was the labels represents the traditional cultural brand of the style of the brand, while maintaining each bottle's uniqueness. The one-of-a-kind label packaging has made the product a success among the young consumers, and the product was sold out within a week of its launch. Some people even went to Yuantang Park to buy the juice, which became the internet celebrity on social media. Now, over in the UK, the Green King IPA came up with the Great Sporting Moments campaign on limited edition, detailing great British sporting moments, such as the England's men's football team winning the 1966 World Cup and Team Great Britain's cyclists winning 8 gold medals at the 2016 Rio Olympics. The campaign produced 250,000 uniquely numbered limited edition string sleeve bottles. 40 different SKUs were digitally printed, providing 10 alternating high-res images that were presented on the bottles. This allows mixed cases and random images to be presented on the retailer shelf. The campaign also included a dedicated website that allows consumers to click on the bottle to read the story behind a great sporting moment. And over in the United States of America, in 2017, Amarula, which is one of the best-selling South African cream liquor, an awareness and fundraising campaign in the US to save the African elephant. In partnership with the conservation group Wildlife Direct, they launched a new campaign titled Don't Let Them Disappear. The global campaign aimed to raise awareness on the ongoing struggle to protect the world's declining African elephant population. And what was the campaign about? For every elephant digitally created on the website Amarula, we'll donate $1 to Wildlife Direct. With fewer than 400,000 elephants left, Amarula released 400,000 individualized Amarula bottles, each one of the remaining elephants. And it doesn't have to be only restricted to food and beverage products. Over in South Korea, Johnson & Johnson Neutrogena came out with a special limited edition hand cream. And a total of 100,000 tubes with 3 different designs was launched just for that special winter edition, limited edition series. 10,000 sets for the online retailers, 40,000 sets for offline shops, each set containing 2 sets, and they all sold out instantly. Not to be outdone, P&G Claro Herbal Essence has come up with very unique, colorful, and attractive bottles for their shampoo and conditioner. So washing hair is never boring again with all this unique and colorful packaging in every single bottle. Over in Russia, zombie juices being a high demand product in Russia, they had a huge challenge in front of them. The goal was to create modern and stylish labels representing the product through the label and engaging with the younger audience, the millennials and the Gen Z. In order to create a colorful and modern design where the customer can choose very unique characters, they use latest digital print software for randomizing body parts such as the heads, the eyes, and the glasses, and accessories such as the glasses, clothes, and so forth. And the result was over 700 million variations of labels were generated and created a huge hype on social media. Not to be outdone, in Indonesia, the Chaya Jakarta Group, we have done the first unique packaging in this country. In 2018, WLP Coco Splash wanted a new attractive packaging that will boost their sales, and not only their sales, their brand and consumer engagement. So they approached Daya Digilab to come up with a solution for them. And I worked almost a year with the brand manager, coming up with various ideas and designs, and finally using our latest digital software and printing technology, we have helped them to develop the perfect first unique packaging project in Indonesia. Now, using a zip file, you can see right there, we have created 200,000 unique string sleeve bottle labels for the campaign in September 2018. And what was the result based on the feedback from the brand manager from WLP? And the result was sales grew by 20%, social media followers grew by 25%, and overall, they have achieved an elevated brand awareness and positioning of their brand, all within 1 month. Now, please feel free to check them out on Instagram. You can have a look at some of the campaigns that, some of the posts that's been posted on Instagram that's been tied up with this campaign. And you can see it was an amazing social media event and phenomenon. And just recently this year, the Kopi Kenangan Hanya Untukmu wanted to commemorate Indonesia's Independence Day on 17th of August 2022. And the name of the campaign was Rayakan Perjuangan Indonesia, which means celebrating our heroes, celebrating our fighters of Indonesia. And they wanted to come up with a limited edition Kopi Kenangan NFT series using this unique approach. So incorporating NFT in their packaging, they needed a unique string sleeve label to deliver this goal. And our solution over in Chai Jakarta Printing, using our Flexo presses, we have successfully produced a few million labels for the Kemerdekaan special campaign. Chai Jakarta and Kopi Kenangan Hanya Untukmu have successfully launched a limited edition string sleeve that incorporates 18 different unique characters. And with this, it was an instant success with the same brand and product. They have successfully increased value. And again, I use this word, in the eyes of the consumer. And with this campaign, they're able to penetrate into the market that's been dominated by global brands. And just recently as well, in 2022, September, Alma, which is a brand that believes that their ingredients are premium and the packaging has to have an equally premium packaging to go along with the brand. So their vision was to become the #1 luxurious hand care in Indonesia. And their belief and their company philosophy and their product quality, they wanted us to achieve this goal for them. So in order for them to do that, we have printed the labels on a very premium silver material. And not only that, Chai Jakarta Packaging have helped them to customize, sourced, and produce a very luxurious new bottles, spray pumps for their hand sanitizers, hand soap, and body soap products. And at the end of August 2022, in September, Alma managed to relaunch their products to the market. And this is how it looks like. And this is the old packaging prior to September 2022 to this. And you can see anything can look premium and luxurious if brand owners were to invest in their brand packaging. And the last example, but not least, we have also helped Juice Nation, which is one of the biggest vaping liquid manufacturers in Indonesia, and they're based in Bandung. You can look them up on the website. The challenge was that they wanted to launch special limited edition vaping liquid products under collaboration with the band Dewa 19. Besides being a consumer product, Juice Nation aims for this liquid vaping to be not just a vaping liquid, but to be a collectible item. And they wanted a consumer engagement together with the products as well. And our solution is a Chai Jakarta Group. We have helped them through augmented reality AR technology, where buyers can interact with the labels through an application, and they can enjoy the special content from the rock band Dewa 19. So today, we have spoken about how we can provide solutions for brand owners, business owners like yourself. A more traditional is a conventional way of doing it is mass production. We spoke about the during the analog era, during the 1980s, 1970s, mass production. Think of it as large amounts of standardized products, printing all at the same time. Or we can have strategic production. You can produce shorter run volumes, customized products. Think of it as more regionalized, localized version of product decorations. Coming up to a higher level of new packaging developments, we can introduce variable content of printing unique variable customized product decoration. Think of it as share Coke. Or you can have very randomized production, randomized SKU. Think of it as multiple characters from movie for same SKU on the store shelf. And next, we have the hyper customization production, the ability to produce totally unique and customized versions so that every single product item is 100% unique. And of course, something on a different level, personalized production. Think of it as customizing a product for the individual consumer and engaging them on a very personal level. And of course, at Cahaya Cakra Group, we also can do prototyping for you. Brands like yourself, you could see opportunity. You want to see your packaging in as many different forms and methods as possible before you actually launch it in the market. And we can help you do that by prototyping, by making mock samples before actually launching the campaign. Think of it as getting involved with your customer before and sooner in the process. And just to summarize and recap today's presentation, we have spoken about how we can elevate your brand to the next level. And first of all, research has shown the products today, whether or not it's pre-pandemic or post-pandemic, brands have to work harder these days. You need to stand out from the crowded landscape. You need to stand out on the shelf. And through this, your brands have to engage consumers through packaging. Marketing budget has increased by 8% over the past 10 years, but traditional advertising is on the decline, as we have spoken about. So brand owners today have to consider investing in new product packaging development and engaging consumers through this packaging. Using print to create a consumer journey as part of the consumer engagement. And differential advantage through unique packaging. Remember, I used this word previously, differential advantage. What is the difference between your brand and the other brand, your product and the other products on the shelf? And last but not least, focus on marketing, focus on packaging as a marketing tool. Engage your customers through packaging. And here at Cahaya Cakra Group, we're able to help you do that. And on an ending note, once again, my name is Danny Lim. Thank you very much for attending our webinar today. Once again, please feel free to take my number down, drop me a message, drop me an email. I'm more than happy to answer any of your queries. Once again, thank you very much.
Thank you very much Pak Denny. Wah, keren banget ya. Presentasinya luar biasa banget dari Pak Denny Lim. Jadi saya ya sempat relate juga nih dengan yang disampaikan Pak Denny. Tadi kan beliau menyampaikan kalau penting banget nih sekarang untuk kita itu as a brand owner or business owner gitu ya, khususnya pasca pandemik itu punya pentingnya untuk meningkatin value dari produk kita. Karena apa sih? Ya sekarang kita makin challenging gitu ya. Produk itu dipilih pelanggan based on banyak hal, nggak cuma karena produknya bagus, tapi juga karena influencer gitu. Nah, saya juga jadi salah satu contohnya nih gitu kan. Kadang lagi scrolling sosial media, tiba-tiba ada influencer, ada teman kita yang sharing produk apa, terus kita juga jadi pengen dan akhirnya purchase gitu kan. Padahal nggak butuh-butuh amat awalnya gitu. Nggak cuma produk gitu ya, service juga gitu, atau tempat wisata, atau tempat makan gitu. Kita juga sangat terinfluence sekali gitu ya sama sosial media dan juga e-commerce gitu. Oke, teman-teman, Pak Denny juga tadi nyampein kalau ada beberapa inspirasi ya yang bisa kita lihat gitu dari beberapa brand di luar gitu ya dan juga di Indonesia gitu ya yang mereka menggunakan label dan packagingnya sebagai tool marketing untuk meningkatkan value ya, lagi-lagi value produk mereka. Oke nih, Bapak Ibu sekalian, setelah Pak Denny, tentunya kita akan ada narasumber yang kedua nih, yang tentunya nggak akan kalah seru juga yang akan disampaikan. Pembicara kedua kita akan membicarakan tentang gimana sih Cahaya Jakarta Group bisa membantu Bapak Ibu sekalian dalam menciptakan label atau packaging yang bisa menarik dan juga bisa meningkatkan value produknya gitu. Oke, nah sesi selanjutnya akan dibawakan langsung oleh CEO Cahaya Jakarta Group oleh Ibu Ewi Fianti Chin. Halo, udah connect ya? Baik, nah sebelumnya juga, sebelum kita mulai sesinya Bu Ewi, Bapak Ibu sekalian yang sudah nggak tahu pengen nanya nih, silahkan ya, ketik aja pertanyaannya di kolom komentar, jangan lupa tulis nama, company, sama pertanyaannya apa. Nanti di sesi tanya jawab kita akan bahas bareng-bareng, oke? Silahkan Bu Ewi, sudah oke?
Terima kasih Pak Aris. Thank you Denny. It was a very nice presentation from you and make my life and my presentation easier. Selamat sore semuanya, Bapak-bapak dan Ibu-ibu yang sudah join acara webinar ini. Ini webinar perdana dari Cahaya Jakarta. So there will be more webinar like this, educational to the market, and then juga sharing juga dari kita, sharing juga dari Cahaya Jakarta. Dan special thanks juga untuk customers yang sudah menjadi part of the family of Cahaya Jakarta Group yang sudah ikut dengan Cahaya Jakarta for decades. Terima kasih supportnya selama ini. Terima kasih juga tim yang sudah mengadakan acara seperti ini juga untuk juga semua support dari teman-teman yang sudah mendengar kita di sini dari luar sana. Karena dulunya biasanya saya yang berkeliling dengan satu-satu ke customer, sekarang dengan teknologi yang baru ini kita bisa bertemu dalam waktu kapanpun tanpa perlu arrangement janji-janji. Terima kasih. Sebelum kita mulai lebih lanjut dari perkenalan, pasti harus saya mengenalkan kepada teman-teman lagi, ada yang baru ataupun yang sudah lama, saya refresh lagi, tidak kenal tidak sayang. Makanya saya Ewi, saya join the company since 2003. If Pak Dhani speak about packaging and design for 7 years, the industry has been in my vein actually for 2003 is 20 years. The industry is so dynamic that make me stay over almost 20 years now. And why is the industry? Apa sih yang bikin menarik Bu Ewi bisa sampai 20 tahun? Apa sih? What is make us stay in the industry for so long? And what is the industry? The industry is involving combining an art from a design and a manufacturing and also understanding about consumer behavior that make us here today and want to be involved with the whole process of the industry as well. Let's say so Cahaya Jakarta Group consists of 4 divisions. Cahaya Jakarta Packaging, Cahaya Jakarta Printing, Cahaya Jakarta Packaging, and the Heya Digilab, and also Kita Label. So I will explain the journey of the Cahaya Jakarta Group as well. Cahaya Jakarta Printing started in 91. A very small businesses, a very humble company that is start with letter presses technology, conventionals. We only started investing in our flexography 2002 and 2006 in the transitions from 2002 to 2006 where we invested in bigger facilities in Cikarang. We automate a lot of things inside the process. We make it to be able to answer to the consumer's requirement and quality projection, quality products that you guys want to convey through your packaging as well. So during this period of years as well, we also invested, Cahaya Jakarta invested on our first digital industrial presses. As time goes, Cahaya Jakarta Packaging in 2011, 2015, we developed on the solution part to answer to the consumers behavior, to answers to the changes of requirement that is needed by, I think, the participant all in the this webinar. This is where you can see how Cahaya Jakarta also evolving, and also I myself personally have a dream to be able to be a solution providers for the industrial, for the brands to be able to shine, not just locally, but also globally. So 2017, because of the consumer behavior is so dynamic, and we also moving to the digital standalone site, this is also to answer a certain dynamic to be able to respond faster to our different type of consumer that being served previously by Cahaya Jakarta printing. And as Pak Denny was saying about during his presentation, that is so dynamic and it's so changing before the pandemic or during the pandemic or post-pandemic, how we have evolved. And if you can see that since 91, how we evolve, we actually moving forward or even faster than what the consumers actually moving. Since the online actually in Indonesia, it's especially only very robust growth is only during the pandemic. But previously in other previous year before the pandemic, I think over global company, they have in overseas, they already have an online shopping, is so familiar with it. But Indonesian was forced during the pandemic to actually adapt even faster, and we adapted even more perfect than it's supposed to be. And that's how Cahaya Jakarta also moving forward with all the milestones over the years that we also evolved to answer the consumers' behaviors as well to fit. And 2022, we also launched e-commerce startup B2C, B2B sort of market in Kita Label. This is also to answer the behavior, the way for us to be closer and nearer to the businesses, to the business owners, and to all the industrial that cannot be reached by us by conventionally. So here is the what are the things that we offer with this when I always say about solution. What Cahaya Jakarta and every division, I would like to explain what we can offer for you guys, for the industry, to answer a certain needs for every different industry, and we can cater very specifically also to your needs. For Cahaya Jakarta Printing, we base and we start our business from pressure sensitive labels. We move to string sleeve labels and in-mold labels. This is the thing that we are, the printing product that we can offer to the market with a very, very various quantity and also needs. So we can cater for small, medium, up to the long runs mass manufacturing as well. And the capabilities, we can do all the double-sided wrap around, customization, perforation, string sleeve, front and back as a normal, pop-up labels, bow tie labels as well, booklet labels, centered, scratch off, and all the embellishment also. What Cahaya Jakarta can do, we can provide more onto value-added label that can actually help you guys to promote and to create value out of your product. And we can serve various embellishment here. Like you see, hot foil, varnishes, screen printing, special die cut. You can order from us, embossing with a lot of texture in it. So all these facilities are in-house ready for you guys to explore and to develop with us. So, and I also would like to introduce our latest innovations for embellishment in Cahaya Jakarta. We can do cashcure label, so you can have a very nicely rainbow effect on your labels. And the varnishes that we develop, we have a soft touch like a clothing filling, and we have a sand varnish as well to enhance your differentiation or the communications what you need in the market. The booklet label, what we can show you, and here is the invisible ink we can also do, not just in the digital. bow tie label, we cooperate with the manufacturer to be able to communicate the bow tie as a festive or as a special event for the labels as well for your products. So all this innovation, why is there? It's also, it shows that the company doesn't just sit there and then just follow the trend. This is the trend that is actually faster than whatever Indonesia has been doing at the moment. So we actually would like to provide a solution in the beginning for you guys to be able to adapt when you guys need it. And what is the next company is Thea Digital. What is this? Why is this as this thing as part of the sister company of the Cahaya Jakarta? Because we understand that whoever we serve in Cahaya Jakarta printing previously have a different customers behavior. Probably the conventional and the digital part as well, it has a different customers behavior. So whatever we do in the process of digital, everything is actually very faster response and faster also cycle time of productions as well, and the capability to answer what Pak Dhani has mentioned, all the variable data, all the special events, effects, and everything to cater the special occasions to increase the engagement of the consumer through the products. It is far more effective when you do it as your own personal products to be a part of the marketing tools. And here the capability, the mosaic, and collage printing, variable data printing, variable QR code, authentications, micro text, invisible inks, whatever conventional can do, it was enhanced in the digital technology printing can do. So most of the material also we can print in both printing process. Here comes the Cahaya Jakarta packaging, where the Cahaya packaging was established in 2012. This is actually to provide and to cater a very specific and very customized needs for our customers as well. We even provide the labeling services, packaging sourcing for those who wants a very unique packaging part and that cannot be found in locally, or the quantity doesn't meet enough to produce independently. And also a machinery solution. We have we can cater labeling machine and everything to suit to your manufacturing plant. So what are the packaging sourcing that the CJ packaging provides? PET bottle, PE extrusion, laminate tube as well, pump, spray, triggers, valve, and containers. Basically, what mostly on the primary packaging, CJ Pack can source it for you in a quite competitive quantity. So out of all that we have been doing in Cahaya, from Cahaya Jakarta, Cahaya Packaging, as well as Thea, we summarize this for last time we only do medium to large businesses scale, but now since a pandemic, there's a lot of movement that is being restricted, and we also develop a website that for the other industry to reach us even closer, for us to be able to be with you guys in a closer and more intimate situation where you can develop your own product, whatever scale is your businesses, from small, medium enterprises. We can summarize everything in Kita Label to be able to design your own bottles, your own labels, and in your fingertips. So after what Pak Dhani has saying that it's not just your product is actually evolving, not consumer behavior also evolving. Cahaya Jakarta also here to be your partners in every businesses, so that we can also evolve. If you can see from the milestones from 1991 and how we become today, is actually try to suit your needs in the market and to be able to provide beautifully for your product and for your businesses. And we have a small video what the Kita label here can provide to you, and it's like a summary of what we are doing in a smaller scale as well.
Perkenalkan, ini Agung. Agung sedang merintis usaha minuman kopi dan saat ini bisnisnya sedang berkembang. Untuk meningkatkan branding bisnisnya, Agung butuh label yang berkualitas. Namun bagi Agung hal ini begitu menantang. Agung tidak bisa mendesain, jasa desainer pun di luar budget. Terlebih, cetak label di industrial printing harus dalam jumlah besar. Ditambah berbagai kendala lainnya. Padahal di saat yang sama, ia harus fokus mengembangkan bisnisnya. Lalu, Agung mendapat informasi tentang Kita Label. Kita Label dapat membuat label berkualitas yang mudah diakses dan terjangkau bagi para pelaku UKM seperti Agung. Dengan kapasitas dan kontrol penuh terhadap proses, Kita Label dapat menjamin label pesanan Agung berkualitas, atraktif, dan bisa diandalkan. Kini Agung dapat fokus mengembangkan bisnisnya. Ingin seperti Agung? Yuk kunjungi website Kita Label.
Okay, next. Okay, this is come to the end of my presentations. As I was saying in the beginning, I really would love to be your partners, one-stop packaging solution for your businesses, so that we can grow together as the product goes to the industrial locally, nationwide, and globally. So thank you. I think feel free to drop us an email or any inquiries. As you can see that Cahaya Jakarta Group actually here for the market to answer all your solutions in terms of packaging innovations. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wewi. Terima kasih banyak atas presentasinya. Oke, Bapak Ibu sekalian, menarik sekali ya presentasinya. Jadi lengkap nih, bulat semuanya ya. Dari Pak Denny tadi ngasih brief explanation tentang bagaimana kondisi pasca pandemi gitu ya, tentang bisnis. Kemudian sekarang juga dibahas oleh dari sisi Bu Ewi, di mana Cahaya Jakarta bisa bantu nih untuk meningkatkan value produk atau brand Bapak Ibu sekalian lewat label and packaging. Nah, sekarang kita udah sampai ke sesi yang ditunggu-tunggu nih, kita sesi tanya jawab. Sekarang saya sudah ada beberapa pertanyaan nih yang muncul di kolom tanya jawab. Bapak Ibu juga yang lain kalau ada pertanyaan silahkan tuliskan saja ya, nama, perusahaan, kemudian juga pertanyaannya. Ini juga ada yang masuk lewat saya tapi agak malu-malu nih, private nanyanya. Nanti saya bacakan juga. Oke. Kita boleh lihat dulu ya dari pertanyaan yang pertama dari YouTube nih. Pertanyaannya, apakah security printing terjangkau untuk produk, maksudnya brand UKM ya? Kalau ada, kalau tidak ada, apa security printing seperti apa yang cocok untuk pelaku UKM? Oke, apakah sudah ready?
I think for security printing yang terjangkau untuk UKM. Untuk pertanyaan pertama, apakah security printing terjangkau dan cocok untuk UKM? Dengan digital itu sangat terjangkau, sangat possible juga, dan itu sangat bisa dilakukan. Jadi untuk special effect printing itu tidak cuma hanya untuk brand, big brand, tapi kita juga harus tahu bahwa value brand kita seperti apa yang kita mesti protect. Apalagi seperti sekarang banyak sekali local manufacturing of honey, and beberapa lagi produk-produk yang sebetulnya harus ada brand protection-nya. Karena mungkin lebih ke consumer, lebih ke makanan atau minuman, itu sangat penting sekali. Jangan sampai ada ada yang palsu atau di counterfeit dengan less effort of pembuatannya.
And the way I like to explain to my customers in regards to, do I need security printing? Is that really a necessity for my business? And I often would reply to them, I say, okay, how much of your sales or your intended sales or your sales target, how many percentage of that sales revenue that you're losing to counterfeiters today? It can be honey, it can be chocolates, it can be high price, high value, fast-moving consumer goods, it can be lubricants, it can be cosmetics, it can be pharmaceutical products like vitamins and supplements, and it can even be agriculture products like seeds and pesticides. So how much of your sales are you losing to counterfeiters today? That is a question that we need to ask back to the brand owners, whether or not this percentage of loss of sales revenues justifies you to invest in security printing.
Oke, semoga terjawab ya tadi yang bertanya dari YouTube. Ya. Oke, sorry.
Thank you, Pak Steve.
Ya, Pak Steve tadi bertanya di YouTube. Semoga menjawab ya. Kita lanjut pertanyaan yang kedua dari Ibu Megia ya dari Rofto ya. Pertanyaannya yang pertama satu, how to control many various of design for one product or SKU, or how many MOQ for each design or artwork?
Okay, how to control, sorry, can you put the question back on the screen? Okay, how to control many various of design of one product SKU? Well, it depends on how many variants that you'd like to launch, Ibu Megia. For example, if your product development team decides to launch 3 new flavors, 5 new flavors, 10 new flavors today in your product. Now, I'm not sure what industry that you're from, Megia, but I assume that it's a pharmaceutical, right? So I assume that okay, there will be new product launches in the coming year, whether or not it's a new supplement or new vitamin or new product that you'd like to launch. It depends on how many variants that you'd like to add in your product range. Now, to answer the question, how many MOQ for each design artwork? Simply put it, we can print even one piece of label for you. One piece, that's MOQ. But we do work on an MOV concept, which is minimum order value as opposed to minimum order quantity, MOV as opposed to MOQ. So basically, we have a value that we set, and then we can print based on the number of quantity based on the quantity produced based on the size of the labels, the size of the packaging, the material, the finishing, and also the overall number of colors as well before we decide out of the MOV how many can be produced. But there are some customers who come to us and say, look, I want to do mock-up samples before I send it for mass production, where I'm going to print millions and millions of pieces. But before that, there is a very big multinational company, FMCG, that uses us for this kind of services. Before they send it to a rotogravure mass production, they would like to send it overseas, to the US, to Europe, to Australia, conduct a survey group, a focus group, get some feedback, and then do some adjustment to the artwork before they mass produce. So to answer the question, we can do as little as one piece, 10 pieces, 100 pieces, mock-up samples with the appropriate finishing methods. Yeah, it's not a problem for us.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Denny. The next question is from Tania, from Nihi. Ya, dia punya 2 pertanyaan. Satu, what kind of recycled or more sustainable supports or papers do you have? And then any solutions for recycled plastic packaging? Bu Ewi, Pak Denny?
I will answer that. Hi, Tania. For your questions, We have in Indonesia, because the sustainability is still not endorsed well yet, but we have recycled PET, recycled film material that always we even give provide a certification for it. And for us, for the industrial purposes, like let's say we have a clean flake label that we can wash off and then try to separate from the primary packaging to the label, so that you can recycle them as a pure back again to the pure material as well. And then all these kind of things is possible. So if let's say if it's paper, then of course we can recycle papers as well. And for that, I think for the sustainable projects, I think you have to discuss with us more intense. What is your purpose? How is your production line going to be? Well, because some of my customers, they do a wash off label as well. Is also part of it, because they need to wash again the bottles and to separate the whole the label, so that the label can go into a different crusher and then the bottle can go different crusher. So it's subject sustainability is subject to discussions, and we can provide to suit your needs what can we do to actually enhance the activities of sustainability in these cases. I hope that this is answer your questions, Tanya.
Tanya bilang thank you. I'll share for email for more details. Oke, thank you Tanya. Oke, selanjutnya ada pertanyaan lagi ini, tapi anonymous ya, ngechatnya langsung ke saya. Boleh Bapak Ibu sekalian, kita juga bagi yang mau bertanya langsung, kita akan open cam ya dan open mic. Untuk yang mau bertanya silahkan raise hand aja di Zoom-nya. Nah ini pertanyaannya tadi yang anonymous ya. Ada yang bertanya, banyak sekali contoh yang ditampilkan untuk produk consumer goods ya. Nah dia bertanya, atau F&B lah ya gitu yang ditampilkan tadi dari Pak Denny atau Bu Ewi, apakah ada tips yang bisa di-share untuk produk yang tidak supermarket darling, seperti misalnya kalau produk saya pupuk atau pakan ternak gitu. Apa ada yang bisa di-share ya untuk brand owner untuk meningkatkan value produknya?
Boleh saya jawab? Sebetulnya semua produk memang ada yang kategori supermarket darling ya. Aduh, this is istilah yang saya baru dengar juga nih. Tapi untuk pupuk dan pakan ternak sebetulnya bagi saya melihat beberapa industri yang bergerak di bidang ini selalu mengunderestimate informasi yang harus ditampilkan di packaging. Bagaimana? Karena sepengalaman saya untuk industri ini, produk Bapak juga tidak bisa dibilang harga komoditi, malah kadang-kadang itu adalah harga premium juga, karena ada membantu untuk meningkatkan produktivitas atas semua agriculture dan yang sekarang lagi sangat populer ya. Oke. Jadi sebetulnya Pak, kalau misalnya ini dan juga banyak disubjected dengan counterfeit juga. Sebetulnya untuk consumer produk, untuk yang seperti pupuk dan peternakan, kita juga ada beberapa customer yang juga malah bisa kita print bagaimana cara penggunaannya yang lebih jelas, ada informasi dengan misalnya Bapak mau dengan berbagai macam bahasa pun bisa, dan itu harus bisa dikerjakan walaupun produk Bapak bilang it's not a supermarket darling, tapi bagi saya banyak juga yang waktu saya traveling juga melihat packaging industri ini itu full of informasi, full of desain produk yang juga didesain dengan baik supaya bisa menjelaskan informasi penggunaan, pemakaian atau bahayanya dengan jelas kepada consumer dibanding produk-produk yang ada available di Indonesia. Sama kalau saya boleh tambahkan kayak seperti sekarang Pak, produk-produk cat tembok yang dulunya cuma 1-2 warna direct printing, sekarang bagaimana brand-brand yang ada di pasaran, even cat tembok atau cat yang dipakai untuk di ruang tamu, dia akan menggambarkan ruang tamu, gambarannya seperti itu Pak. Jadi dengan cat tembok ini, ruang tamu saya bisa lebih cantik seperti ini. Nah, seperti komunikasi seperti itu yang harus dapat Bapak juga convey ke masyarakat, ke user Bapak dengan label. Terima kasih. Mudahan menjawab.
Oke, any addition, Pak Denny? Is it enough?
No, I think Bu Evi answered it.
Oke. Ya, rekan-rekan Bapak Ibu sekalian, kita masih open for Q&A ya. Jadi silakan yang ingin bertanya, silakan tuliskan nama perusahaan dan juga pertanyaan di kolom chat. Oke, next question masih dari Ibu Megia, tadi ada lanjutan pertanyaan. Ibu Megia dari Rohto. Thank you Bu Megia udah bertanya kembali. Thank you Baby, very interesting presentation. Apakah invisible ink lebih baik daripada hologram label untuk fungsi security-nya? Bagaimana komparasi harganya invisible ink sama security label? Oke.
Mungkin kalau harga kita nggak bahas di sini ya Bu Megia. Megia, sebetulnya tidak ada salah satu yang lebih fungsinya lebih penting atau lebih bagus atau lebih baik. Dua-duanya punya plus minusnya masing-masing. Cuma kalau misalnya di holographic label kita mesti nge-develop dice, mesti nge-develop agak panjang dan harus dan implementasinya mungkin akan lebih costly dibanding invisible yang sekarang kita available. Apalagi digital juga udah bisa provide, apalagi produk ibu biasanya kalau misalnya pakai invisible ink mungkin premium produknya juga nggak banyak, tapi memang value-nya tinggi dan mau diprotect karena margin masih tinggi untuk counterfeited itu juga sangat atraktif untuk dibuat. Nah di situ bagi saya invisible ink itu akan lebih bisa digunakan lebih praktikal. Tapi balik lagi tergantung purpose-nya apa. Jadi semuanya tidak ada yang bisa langsung bilang oh invisible lebih baik atau hologram lebih baik. Tapi semua even hologram pun ada tipe-tipenya Bu. Jadi security levelnya mau seperti apa levelnya, dan itu juga harus by project kita diskusi lagi lebih lanjut. Secara konversi harga tergantung penggunaan dan purpose yang ibu mau pakai sih. Saya harap itu menjawab pertanyaan Bu Megia.
Kalau saya, Ibu Megia, menurut saya, kenapa nggak mau kombinasikan hologram dan invisible ink? Itu kalau fungsinya lebih security menurut saya, tapi pasti harganya lebih mahal. Ya, jadi once again, it is about protecting your brand and how much you want to invest into security printing or hologram labeling, or a combination of both. And just now in my presentation, I also mentioned a few other points as well. For example, security by design, security by ink or holograms in this case, and track and trace solution, which you can work with various third-party companies. And we can introduce you to a few companies that we have previously worked with. Companies like that produce very unique coding, whether or not it's alphanumeric coding, QR coding, 2D barcoding, or even combination with colors and patterns, and in combination with holograms, will provide a very high level of security printing. Now we need to be very clear, and I need to explain that not one single method is 100% security proof. Yeah, if the counterfeiter itu orang pintar banget, pasti masih bisa kopinya. Yeah, so there is no 100% foolproof method, but we can make it very, very difficult for them to copy your products.
Oke. Thank you Pak Denny dan Bu Ewi atas penjelasannya. Semoga menjawab ya Bu Megia. Ada pertanyaan lagi lanjutan, gitu ya. Anonymous juga. Pertanyaannya, tadi kan ada dijelaskan nih ada produk special edition, contohnya yang dari Kopi Kenangan dan juga WRP. Dia menyebutnya special edition launching itu agak ribet gitu ya. Kalau di luar negeri kelihatannya gampang sekali ganti kemasan gitu. Sementara di Indonesia itu banyak sekali izin ya, harus izin ke banyak entitas pemerintahan gitu. Nah, ada tips nggak untuk as a brand owner atau produsen gitu untuk melakukan campaign seperti ini?
Okay, so I assume that harus kasih izin itu dari BPOM ya. So I assume that's the nature of the question. Yes, I understand. The regulations in this country is extremely difficult. Yeah, we all know that we are brand owners, we're packaging development people, and I work with many managers like yourself, brand owners, business owners like yourself. BPOM is a nightmare here. Let's admit it. Okay, but I always strongly believe that we are catching up in terms of packaging innovation, and sooner or later the government is going to see that more and more investments are going to come from overseas. And together with these investments, this multinational corporation, they want to see the market here is huge. It's got such a big potential. And if I can do this in China, why can't I do this in Indonesia? And hopefully one day, just one day, let's all hope that BPOM will not make our lives so difficult in terms of making such unique printing, packaging, production. But by then, if one day that happens, we are already ready. We know what to do. We got the software, we got the technology, and boom, within months, you're ready to launch your unique product into the market.
Tambahan juga, during the project WRP dan Kopi Kenangan, mungkin Pak Thomas juga mungkin salah satu listener juga di sini, kita sudah berhasil actually meng-convince bahwa mereka mempunyai suatu unique numbers, BPOM numbers yang untuk dipakai cuma 6 bulan atau 7 bulan untuk masa promosi. Jadi apa yang kita lakukan, kita sudah bersama-sama dengan brand owners juga untuk mengegolkan bahwa launching produk baru itu tidak susah juga. Saya ngerti kenapa BPOM juga melakukan restriction. Mungkin sistem kita masih selalu memperbaiki supaya bisa keamanan produk seperti apapun itu kita harus jaga, dan kita juga akan mengerti kenapa BPOM harus go through solo proses supaya produk di Indonesia pun adalah produk-produk yang aman yang kita konsumsi. Di situ pula nanti dengan adanya breakthrough yang seperti WRP dan Kopi Kenangan dengan special edition, ini membuat bergeraknya semua industri untuk bisa berpartisipasi juga untuk product engagement, consumer engagement sesuai dengan consumer behavior. Saya yakin pihak BPOM pun sangat ingin juga mempunyai sistem yang baik untuk mensupport industri-industri packaging kita di Indonesia juga, supaya bisa compete dengan globally, dengan nggak usah sampai seluruh dunia, tapi at least Southeast Asia saja juga kita pasti mereka juga sudah memikirkan untuk itu.
So we can all start writing an email to BPOM and then ask them to, can you please make it easier for us to launch new products?
Come on guys, more quick.
Iya. Tapi kalau untuk special edition mereka sudah ngerti kok Pak, untuk promotion item, untuk promosi, untuk certain period, certain section, but it's just that kita harus prepare agak lebih panjang dibanding kalau misalnya Bapak dan Ibu melihat brand lain kok gampang sekali gitu. Tapi kita kan nggak pernah tahu prosesnya mereka di luar seperti apa sebetulnya. Berapa gampang sih sebetulnya. Tapi di Indonesia udah possible juga kok Pak. Itu. Oke.
Kalau questionnya Bu Ewi, Pak Denny, tadi berarti berapa lama nih kalau misalnya ada brand nih dari Bapak Ibu sekalian yang hadir di sini gitu mau nge-develop special campaign nih. Kira-kira berapa lama sih waktunya dari mulai konsep desain, perizinan sampai labelnya ke cetak?
Itu depends ya. Kalau nggak salah kemarin dengan Kopi Kenangan kayaknya 3 bulan udah produk sudah bisa saya produksi ke pasar kayaknya. Balik ke customer lagi untuk diproduksi oleh mereka. Tapi kalau waktu WRP, I think the paperwork is take longer ya.
1 tahun.
1 tahun. Because ada BPOM pertama itu yang kita ciptakan untuk special edition itu.
It was the first unique packaging idea, and BPOM has no idea what they are trying to do here. They go, oh, you got 200,000 bottles, so you need 200,000 BPOMs. Can you imagine that? So it was an absolute nightmare trying to explain it to BPOM, and I fully understand because I helped to. I was helping to consult throughout the entire campaign, throughout the entire packaging campaign. And they finally gave the BPOM to WLP based on a 6 months special promotional launch item. So the product has to be sold within 6 months. So it is still possible to do a unique product launch like that. You don't need to do it like every month. You can do it like for a seasonal period. And then next year you think about, okay, what's going to be next? Maybe you got a special celebrity or you got special seasonal products that you want to do a very unique packaging. And remember, once in a while, we need to create the hype. We need to create the trend. We need to create the people talking on your social media accounts. And this raises brand awareness, just like what we have helped WLP and Kopi Kenangan.
Kalau untuk produksinya sih nggak selama itu, Pak, Bu. Cuma ya urusan yang di sebelah sananya yang agak lebih lama.
Oke, menarik sekali ya, makin sore ya. Oke, Bapak Ibu juga, ini ada Bu Mega juga nambahin kan, boleh minta tolong kirimin sampel pakai invisible ink nggak? Boleh banget. Jadi Bapak Ibu kalau ada kebutuhan untuk kita kirimkan sampel dari presentasi Bu Ewi atau Pak Denny tadi, mau lihat contohnya seperti apa, silakan kontak saja teman-teman sales kita ya, atau tadi ada nomor yang menghubungi Bapak Ibu, tinggal kontak aja ada kebutuhan apa, kita akan coba bantu provide sampel labelnya. Oke, sesi Q&A masih dibuka, apakah masih ada pertanyaan? Bapak Ibu sekalian, teman-teman, ada yang mau bertanya langsung atau mau curhat boleh. Oke, baik ya. Kalau sudah tidak ada lagi pertanyaan, mungkin dari saya, dari Bu Ewi atau Pak Denny, mungkin ada hal yang kelupaan disampaikan atau kelupaan ditanyakan during this webinar. Ada sepatah dua kata-kata yang mau disampaikan to the audience.
Again, thank you very much for the time to take time of your afternoon, your precious time of your afternoon to come and listen to us. We hope we have inspired you, the brand owners, the packaging managers, the sourcing managers, the procurement managers, the directors, the brand business owners. We hope we have somehow inspired you to put some investment into new packaging development. And that's what we're here for as a Cahaya Jakarta Group. We're here to talk to you. We're here to listen to what you need. And we'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions to our best possible capabilities. Of course, we're more than happy to answer some of your concerns and inquiries as well. Again, thank you very much for myself.
Dari saya juga terima kasih banyak terhadap supportnya, terhadap Pak sudah hadir di acara kami, acara perdana. Saya juga minta maaf bila ada kekurangan atau salah kata dari kami juga. Thank you for the customers yang sudah actually merasakan service dari Cahaya Jakarta for decades. Terima kasih supportnya. Untuk yang teman-teman yang baru atau baru mengenal Cahaya Jakarta, welcome. Kita sangat welcome dengan very big hands to help you, to guide you untuk produk-produk yang akan kalian develop dengan kami. Terima kasih banyak. Terima kasih.
Oke, baik Bu Ewi dan Pak Denny, sekali lagi terima kasih banyak atas sharingnya. Bapak Ibu, teman-teman sekalian, kita setelah ini mau foto bersama dulu, tapi sebelumnya saya mau mengingatkan jangan lupa follow sosial medianya Cahaya Jakarta Group karena webinarnya ini perdana ya. Kita tahun depan akan banyak event-event lain yang akan kita share, jadi jangan lupa untuk follow LinkedIn kita, Instagram, dan juga subscribe ke YouTube-nya Cahaya Jakarta Group. Oke, kita boleh on cam semua, kita mau foto bersama. Oke, silakan semuanya. Stop presentation dulu. Oke, apakah sudah on cam semua? Yang lain mana? Sudah kelihatan? Oke. Siap, sudah ada tim yang mau capture? Oke, siap. Ya, semuanya senyum. Boleh buka maskernya kalau boleh, di kantor nggak boleh ya? Oke, semuanya 3, 2, 1. Sekali lagi ya. 1, 2, 3. Oke. Ya, sudah semuanya? Satu kali lagi. Ya. 3, 2, 1. Oke, baik. Teman-teman Bapak Ibu sekalian, terima kasih sekali lagi atas waktunya sudah hadir dalam